Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian, Noel. We got an exciting show for you, but first we did want to take some time at the top. If you watched the news lately, you probably heard about the passing of Cibola guard Zach Mascarenas. Our prayers are with his family here at Proview Networks and at Local Focus. We are going to stick with basketball. That is the theme today, and my guest is a state champion, CeCe Barela. Welcome to the show, CeCe.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, you were just in the news for committing to college, and we'll get into more details about that later, but that's got to be a huge thing to get off your shoulder, right?
Yeah, it definitely was. I was excited to, get it done before season so I could focus on my senior season, and, it's a very exciting thing to get done.
Well, I want to rewind a couple of seasons, and before you kind of splashed into the metro area, you started at Robertson, right?
Yeah, I started varsity.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, I started varsity as an 8th grader and freshman for my dad. He was actually my coach there, as well as here at Dorado. Great school, great teammates, great system. Obviously, I love playing under my dad, so that was a hometown, so it was a good experience.
You guys were pretty good.
Yeah, we were very, very good.
And they kind of ran Pops out of town. It's hard to get fired or leave a school. He didn't get fired. I shouldn't say that. He left, right?
Yeah, he did.
He chose to leave. But it's hard to choose to leave a place. And after that was a one-loss season, right?
Yeah, it was one or two. It was. I wouldn't say he got ran out of town necessarily. We kind of saw the opportunity to move to Albuquerque and come out here to the metro area. So we took that, and it was more of a family decision.
But really, how do you lose a coach that only loses 2 games? I mean, you got to do everything. So what was that like for you? Not only at that point, you're not just a player on the team, but that's dad.
Right.
And to see that, like, hey, this guy's 1 game away from a state title, and now he's not coaching that team anymore. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was frustrating at first, but we kind of talked it out, me and my dad, one-on-one, and then with the rest of our family. And we kind of just made the decision together. It was a tough one, but a good decision nonetheless.
Right. And boy, were we happy at West Mesa.
Yeah.
As the PA announcer of the Mustangs, boy, were we happy to see you.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of get into that more a little bit later, too, because, well, let's get into it now. I mean, you feel like a glove.
I did,
And, I mean, that's, for a team that's already so successful and that has, some go-to players already on the team, for a player to come into that system and just fit it like a glove, that doesn't happen that often.
Right.
So let's kind of go through that. I mean, talk about your first impressions of the girls and meeting everybody and all that.
So first impressions probably happened way before most people knew. There's a lot of history in that team. Me and Maya Rivas and Esperanza Varos and Ali Varos, we've known each other since we were little girls, playing on the Lady Heat together in AAU and playing against Emily Burke. We never played together, but we played against each other since, growing up. So there's always been that connection there. It didn't necessarily just start at West Mesa. So that was kind of a no-brainer when I was deciding the school, because obviously, me and Maya, me and SB, all the girls had a connection since we were little.
Did you think it would be as seamless as it was, or did you think there might be some growing pains at the beginning? Because I don't even seem to remember any growing pains.
Yeah.
Just check in, hit your first 3, and we were off and running.
Yeah, no, there wasn't any growing pains. It was kind of, like you said, fit like a glove. We all had one goal in mind, so we were focused. We weren't worried about anything external, so we were very ready. Right,
and I mean, even through your time at Robertson, then you get to West Mesa. You've always had a real level head about you. So talk about that team. Have you've obviously been part of different team dynamics. it seems like that team, especially when you first got there, you know, everyone seems to be pulling the rope from the same side. Everyone's got their mind on winning. I mean, that's not always the case, right?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, we were very focused, and, you know, we were very unselfish. We were never worried about who had the most points or who had the most assists, rebounds, nothing like that. We were all, we all worked as a unit and strive towards that end goal.
Obviously, you take us through that state tournament run. I mean, that was pretty special.
Yeah, it was a crazy ride for sure. You know, we battled. We had some tough games, some maybe unexpectedly tough games. You know, Oñate we played in the first round, and then Mayfield, and then obviously the Piedra Vista game was crazy. And then to beat Hobbs a second time, especially in the state championship, was just something special.
Now, coming in as the additional piece on the team, when they had fallen just short the prior year, did that put some added pressure on your shoulder? Like, hey, I'm the one piece that's getting added.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe I can take them over the finish line. Talk about that.
Yeah. So I know that they had fallen a little bit short the past couple years, and so that wasn't really anything foreign to me because we had done the same at Robertson. You know, we were a very good team. We might have been looked at as possible state champions. So it was a smooth transition as far as, you know, what we were looking to do, the goal, the talent on the team. So we were kind of just looking at the same thing. I was ready.
So you get to a team like West Mesa, and I don't know if you knew this, but before you got there, the gym wasn't always full.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But by the time you got there, every girls' game pretty much a full house.
Yeah, it was.
At West Mesa. Just talk about that environment and how you were immediately embraced. You know, a full crowd every night. Not every girls' team gets a full crowd every night, but West Mesa was always a rocking place for girls basketball.
Yeah, you know, the fans, and I know I speak for every athlete. The crowd and the fans and the parents. It's a huge part of, you know, the energy of the game and the tempo of the game. So that was a huge help as far as, like, you know, motivation and energy and stuff like that. So it was great to see all those people there.
Before we go to break, we're going to go to break. Then we'll talk about, you know, transitioning to El Dorado and what you still hope to get accomplished there. But tell us your best and funniest and most embarrassing Manny Otero story that we can put on TV.
Coach Otero, he was such a great coach, such a nice man. I don't know, I can't think of one off the top of the head, but he's always so energetic and so full of life, and he was just a great coach. So there's so many stories.
Right.
Probably after we won state, definitely he was so excited. So that was cool to see.
Well, we're going to take a break. I'm going to try to dig a little deeper during the commercial and get something embarrassing. We'll be right back with CeCe Barela.
You want to see running. He's on pace for 1,400 yards this season, and there's some of those yards right there, right up the middle, and he's looking at an easy run, one man to beat, beats him for the touchdown. 45-yard touchdown by Ortiz.
First down and goal from the 10. Play action and a fade to the end zone. And well, there he is.
Block punt. Let's see if the Mustangs can scoop and score. Scoop and score the touchdown with Western New Mexico. Number 20, CJ Bionis. Out of the play fake. Throwing to Colson in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
The hot man, and why not? Looking hot, looking into the end zone, and his second touchdown already.
Pulse, headed in, and that's 2-0. And I think it's Johnson, and it is. So third down and goal, and it's a keeper for Smith. He broke a tackle, and he's into the end.
Holy fumble. Hit by Calhoun. Ball is fumbled.
is one. Look out, Garcia's loose. Garcia to goal for the lead. 1-0.
Go play action, rolling out to the right. Now he's going to run with it and break some tackles. Lowers his head into the end zone. What a run by Isaiah Chavez. Wow.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green
and keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of Proview Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Back with El Dorado's CeCe Barela. So as fast as you arrived and won a state title at West Mesa, you were off to your next chapter. I know it had to be very exciting that your dad got another opportunity at a head coaching position.
Yeah, my dad was and still is excited, to coach at El Dorado. He's so full of life when he coaches, and it was so exciting to get to play for him again.
And I mean, that's not just any program. When it comes to girls basketball, to take over Don Flanagan's program of all programs, that had to be a little extra special for him.
Oh yeah, he kind of says the same thing that you do, to be able to coach again, and not just at any school, at El Dorado, the girls basketball program, he was so excited.
Now, what would depress the hell out of me as a coach is looking through the history books.
Yeah.
There's no way, I'm sorry, I love your dad,
yeah,
but there's no way to replicate Don Flanagan.
Yeah.
He would go years without losing.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a huge, when he took the job, did he look through and be like, CeCe, you should see this? Was there any of that? Because the numbers that Coach Flanagan put up at El Dorado are just ridiculous.
Yeah, the state championship sign is right above our locker room, so seeing that every day, it's motivation. It's motivation, and it's exciting to see.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see John Wooden had those kind of runs at UCLA. Don Flanagan had those kind of crazy. If you go to the back of if you have a state championship program at home, if you have an old state championship program at home, and you look at girls' records in the back, almost every one of them is El Dorado, El Dorado, El Dorado, yeah. Don Flanagan. So that's got to be pretty cool. So first impressions at El Dorado?
It was kind of very similar to when I moved to West Mesa. There's a lot of connection in history at El Dorado with the girls there as well. Lainey Lucero, Rachel Williams, Presley Tyler. We played with each other, played against each other, just like I did with some of the girls at West Mesa as well.
Now, the success was not as instant as it was at West Mesa. Was that difficult to adjust to? How did you adjust to that?
It wasn't difficult. It was, still focused, still, you still have one goal in mind, and you just work with your team. You work with your team every day. You don't look too far in the future. You don't look during the past. You work in the present, and you stay with your team.
A lot of those girls that you played with, seniors especially, they'd gone through a coaching change every year, right. So that has to be incredibly difficult. I mean, did you guys ever talk about that? I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, they definitely went through a handful of coaches during their time at El Dorado, so I'm sure that was difficult for them. But I mean, like I said, we worked in the gym every day. It was focus. It was work in the moment.
And the first time the Mustangs were on the schedule, how was that?
Yeah, that was it was exciting to see, my old teammates again and to be able to compete against them. It was exciting.
I do remember the crowd giving you a really nice hand when you were announced. That had to be pretty special.
Yeah, it was exciting. They're still considered family, and that was a special chapter in my life. So it was nice.
I mean, it's got to be especially gratifying to go to a place that hadn't had a lot of success, and be part of something that just absolutely put that school on the map. State title where they've never had it. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, it was so special, and it's crazy still to this day, but it's just an opportunity of a lifetime. Let's talk a little bit about your upbringing, your youth. Basketball was not your first sport, right?
No, I did track and field. Actually, was my first sport at ages 5, 6, 7. Being at El Dorado when I was even younger, track meets there every weekend. My dad would take me, pack up the truck, and take me and my brothers. How did that kind of help transition smoothly into basketball? It was actually pretty smooth transition. I'd always, been athletic, been running around, jumping around as a kid. So once I found basketball to be, my sport, my passion, it was cool to be able to do both for sure. Is that, would it be fair to call you sneaky fast and sneaky quick on the court? Yeah. I would say that. So does that come from, you think, your background in track and field? Yeah, for sure. I did track and field and then cross country as well during middle school and my freshman year, so that's definitely helped. So a lot of those athletes that specialize only, what would you say about that? That, that's always a debate now, that a lot of people just want to play one sport. Well, obviously you didn't. What would your advice be for that? Yeah, no, I definitely get, kids specializing in one sport, but I would say that, the other sports that I've done in volleyball, and I did tennis as well, all 4 of them have definitely helped shape me into a better basketball player. Right. And you can't fill out a jacket like that if you're just playing one sport, right? Yeah, for sure. With all those patches and everything, it would be empty. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take another time out. We'll talk about, life of an athlete right now during COVID, and then your big college choice, which came down the news this week.
They haven't gone back to more. Racknell is still in there. Throwing on the post pattern. Cut. Down. What a catch at the 25-yard line. That's just a great catch by number 1, Drake Owen.
Single running back. And West does get the ball, and he has wide open lane. Let's see if he can make it. He punches it in. Did he get it? Yes! Touchdown, Ben West. Franco hands the ball off. Nice hold for a nice run. He breaks one, breaks two, touchdown!
Second down. Smith. Plenty of time. A little pump fake. Fires in. He's going for Connor O'Toole to the end zone.
Fowler the play fake, throws it out to Colson on the screen. Colson breaks a tackle. 20, he might be going to the house. Touchdown Mustangs.
Third down and 16. Redford gonna throw it, throws it out. The receiver slipped. The ball is picked, and back to the north side we go. And this could go all the way back for a touchdown and into the end zone.
Set far side for Bell. She couldn't put it away. Sharp over the block. Salas. Ray. Hit over by Cheshire. Sharp again through the block. Looking to set Bell on the far side. Gonzalez Sanchez digs it out. Jones will push it to Sharp. That's been her spot, but they're scrambling and still alive. Now it's going to come over. Salas gets it there. Jones. Gonzalez Sanchez, Sharp will have another swing. Just barely able to get it back over. Great defense for Pius. They'll try Wallace on the other side. Yes!
Play fake. Throws. Oh, what a catch by Reggie Colson. Boy, he got whacked and still came down with it.
Handoff goes right side. Breaking some tackles and more. Off to the races. Still on his feet into the end zone. What a
middle of the field. One of the most impressive things you will ever see.
Here's a quick slant, and look at the speed by Altier. Can anybody catch him? A foot race. Altier. What an answer.
Back with El Dorado's CeCe Barela. I hate for this to be a topic on every show, but I mean, the life of an athlete right now during COVID, I mean, we can't help but talk about it. So I guess let's put in our 2 cents here. How have you been dealing with it?
It's been tough, definitely, especially being a senior. You know, you work your whole life for this moment, you know, senior year, senior athletics. So it's been tough for sure, but that hasn't stopped, you know, the work in the gym, the work outside, shooting every day, so.
What about, I mean, how much more difficult would it be, you think, if you didn't have the college choice out of the way? Oh, by the way, you have that state title out of the way, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't have those 2 things already tucked away, how much more frustrated would you be right now, you think?
I'm sure that would be frustrating. There's already a lot on your mind being a senior, being an athlete, so I'm sure that would be difficult. It's been good to get those out of the way.
Now, I mean, do you think there's, as an athlete, I've been asking a lot of athletes this question, but do you think there's going to be a season? What's your mindset?
Oh, I'm very hopeful, but you know, I'm not sure with the numbers rising every day, but I hope so.
What are, I mean, I don't think we truly grasp of all the stuff you would be doing right now if it wasn't for COVID. So what are the things you're not doing anymore because of COVID?
Obviously school, and then one of the big things is playing AAU. I haven't played any games since, you know, what was it, 9-10 months ago, since our last game of the season. So that has been so hard, but I mean, like I said, the work doesn't stop.
All right. Well, let's talk about the big choice, college choice. That's what you were in the news for lately. To fill our audience in.
Yeah, so recently I signed and committed to play at Maine Maritime Academy in Castine, Maine. I'm very excited about that. It's a very far move, and you know, I'm just very excited.
Now, is it true that the sun never shines in Maine?
That is not true. I actually visited this summer, and it was nice weather.
All right, because I think I saw that in like a Kathy Bates movie, so I was terrified when I read that about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sun does shine in Maine. All right, do you like lobster?
I don't eat seafood, actually.
Okay, so that's a problem, right?
I know, I've heard that.
Yeah, right, the lobster, and I thought the sun never shines.
Yeah.
So what else kind of drew you to that?
Coach Dagan, you know, the coach at Maine Maritime, he was so, you know, just so into the recruiting process, and he just made it so exciting, so enjoyable. Just so excited to play for him, so excited.
Now, I guess like in a few years, we're going to be calling you Dr. Barela, I hear?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan. I want to be an orthopedic surgeon after, you know, medical school. My plans are go to Maine, and then graduate from there, and then come back to UNM and attend medical school.
Okay. So our director, like, he was a long snapper in college, and now he can barely walk. He's got all kinds of medical ailments, so maybe he needs to. So, man, basketball and all that pre-med stuff, that's a lot on your plate. Talk about your support system that's in place that helped you make this decision. I know you're real big on family and that support system.
Yeah, my family, you know, they've been so supportive, and you know, they know I can do it. You know, I've told them, I said, you guys don't have to worry about me going, you know, 2,000 some miles away. They're so supportive. They're like, we'll go visit you. We'll watch your games online when we can't go. So they've been a huge factor.
They have internet in Maine?
They do.
Oh, wow.
They
okay,
do.
all right. So that's fantastic. What were some of the other choices you were kind of looking at?
I had been in close contact with Coach Sherman from Highlands, Coach Ratcliffe from Colorado Christian, you know, some schools in the Midwest, some other schools in Texas, more in Colorado. So there was a handful.
So that's usually, you know, you mentioned a few names that we see a lot, right?
Yeah.
But like people from New Mexico just don't go to Maine.
Right.
I don't even think a lot of people could find Maine on the map.
That's, you know, I talked to a lot of people and they're like, where's Maine? I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah.
So was there some culture shock around you and your family when you first said Maine?
Yeah, you know, like my extended family, my grandmother was like, oh my goodness. And my uncles were just, I mean, supportive to say the least, but they were just kind of shocked.
How long is a flight to Maine?
It actually took 4 planes, 4 planes, 3 stops, I think it was. So it was long. It took a full day to get there.
So that's big time. Well, you know, and now this medical thing, has that always been a dream, or when did that come about?
Yeah, going to medical school and becoming a doctor has always been something I've been interested in. Being able to be the first doctor in my family, and you know, just be able to help people. I'm big on helping people. So
now, when you're Dr. Barela, will you insist that like your dad call you Dr. Barela?
I don't know.
Or like,
maybe.
like how far will you correct us and be like, it's MD?
Oh,
like
gosh.
how will that go?
I guess I'll see how I feel then. If it has a nice ring to it and I'm feeling it, then maybe I'll make everybody call me doctor.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, Josh can change your name to doctor once you get that doctor. That is really cool. I'm so excited for you. You know, through the state championship and then this announcement, I'm really happy for you. Really excited. Thank you for dropping in.
Thank you.
And updating us on all this. I'm going to close here by myself, solo, if you would, Josh. So when CeCe made her announcement, they had a story on Channel 4 about it. Our friend Brandon Ortega, friend of mine, friend of the show, kind of did a story about it. And wouldn't you know, on Facebook, that post started getting flooded by some negativity. Now, you remember, we talked about this during the J.B. White episode, where we have this problem in New Mexico where adults find the need to tear kids down. Well, that happened again. You know, I really thought about putting up a screenshot and calling the person out by their name, but I'm not going to do that because that would give them more attention than they deserve, and this show is about CeCe. But man, are you a piece of garbage. Like, for you to be an adult and go online and tear down a kid, there is something wrong with you. For someone to just think that that's okay, to be so petulant, to be so destructive and so negative, there's really no surprise that kids want to go from New Mexico all the way to Maine. Thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.